Welcome to day 4 of the Fear Challenge. Today, we're tackling a fear that gets under the skin for many people, the fear of bugs. Spiders, roaches, beetles, tiny creatures that can cause big reactions. The mere sight of a cockroach scurrying across the floor or a spider in the corner can send shivers down your spine. But why do these little creatures inspire such a deep-rooted fear? And how can we learn to coexist with them without letting that fear take control? Let's dive into the world of creepy crawlies and explore how to overcome this common, yet overwhelming, fear. For many of us, the fear of bugs isn't about what they are but what they represent. Unpredictability, the unfamiliar, or even disgust. Bugs move in ways we can't always predict. They crawl, scuttle, and fly out of nowhere. And while most bugs are completely harmless, it's their sudden appearance or strange movements that trigger an automatic, instinctual reaction in us. But here is the thing, like most fears, it's not really the bug itself that frightens us. It's the reaction we have to it. When you break it down, bugs play a vital role in our ecosystem. They pollinate flowers, break down organic matter, and even help keep other insect populations in check. In a way, bugs are nature's tiny caretakers. And yet, despite their usefulness, our fear often outweighs their importance in our minds. So how do we shift our perspective from fear to understanding? It starts by looking closer literally. When you take the time to observe a bug, you begin to see it not as a threat, but as a small, intricate part of the world around you. One of the best ways to face your fear of bugs is by learning more about them. Knowledge helps to dismantle fear. Take a moment to observe how bugs behave. Notice how they move, what they're doing. Most of the time, they're completely focused on their own survival. They're not interested in us at all. When you understand that a spider is busy weaving its web or that a beetle is simply searching for food, it becomes less threatening. You shift from seeing it as a potential danger to recognizing it as just another creature trying to live its life. But it's not always easy to stay calm when a bug appears, right? That's because fear of bugs, like many fears, triggers our body's fight or flight response. Your heart races, you might feel a surge of adrenaline, and the urge to escape kicks in. The key here is to practice calming your body in the moment. Next time you encounter a bug, instead of jumping back immediately, try to pause. Take a deep breath, slow your heart rate, and remind yourself that you're safe. By calming your physical reaction, you're also calming your mind. Another effective way to reduce fear is through exposure. The more you interact with bugs in small, controlled ways, the less scary they become. Start by observing bugs from a distance. Watch an ant trail in the park, or look at a butterfly resting on a flower. Gradually, as you get more comfortable, you can move closer. You don't need to touch them, just being near them without reacting is a powerful step. Over time, what once seemed terrifying becomes familiar, and fear starts to fade. Facing your fear of bugs doesn't mean you need to start loving them. You don't have to invite them into your space, but you can learn to coexist peacefully. Instead of reacting with panic, when you see a bug, try responding with curiosity or even neutrality. If a spider is in your home, consider gently removing it and placing it outside rather than killing it. This small act of compassion not only helps the bug, but it also helps you confront your fear in a non-aggressive way. It's about shifting your mindset from fear to understanding. Bugs are an essential part of the world we live in. Without them, many plants wouldn't grow, ecosystems would collapse, and the balance of nature would be thrown off. They play a role that's much bigger than their size, and when you realize their importance, it becomes easier to appreciate them, even if you don't particularly like them. In the end, the fear of bugs is often a fear of what we don't fully understand. But when you take the time to observe, to learn, and to calm your reactions, that fear becomes manageable. So, here is today's challenge. Spend a few minutes observing a bug today. It could be a bee outside, an ant in your kitchen, or a butterfly in the park. Notice how it moves, what it's doing, and try to separate the fear from the facts. Remind yourself that this tiny creature is just going about its life, with no intention of harming you. The goal isn't to love bugs, it's to lessen the fear they cause. By taking small steps toward understanding, you'll start to see them in a new light. Today, you've taken a step toward overcoming your fear of bugs. You've learned that fear often comes from misunderstanding, and that with a little patience, we can shift our perspective. Bugs might still make you uncomfortable, but they don't have to send you running. You have the power to change how you respond. Remember, fear is often just a reaction to the unknown. But once we get to know what we fear, it loses its grip on us. See you tomorrow for day 5 of the Fear Challenge.